I am Damonous. Jesus is my king. You are my family. Hello, I am Damonous. Thanks for joining. This is a little bit of a continuation of the last post I had from a couple days ago, because there's still a war of words ongoing from LeBron, at least, towards President Trump. And again, as one Clevelander to another, this hits home very much to me. You get a guy who's kind of infatuated with himself and the love that the city has given him for, definitely great things he's done for the city. But I want to bring the truth to the matter, and if you haven't seen my other video, which is titled, I Have a King, his name is Jesus, not James, I encourage you to watch that, because I show a little bit of LeBron James' history, if you've forgotten that. And even as a lot of Clevelanders with the win the other year, the championship win, it's easy to forget the darker sides of this man's self-infatuation and self-aggrandization. But my point here is just to come back around, like in my previous video, just showing kind of really how much LeBron James has no problem with lying. He might be a great athlete. He might be a hometown hero for bringing the championship. But it doesn't mean that the guy is telling you the truth. Let's take a little look at the latest shot of nobility from the king.
I want the best for the American people. No matter the skin color, no matter the race, no matter how tall or athletic you are, or whatever the case may be, and we sit up here and say that we are trying to make a difference. Because we know this is the greatest country in the world. It's the land of the free. But we still have problems just like everybody else. And when we have those problems, we have to figure out a way how we come together and be as great as we can be as the people. Because the people run this country, not one individual, and damn sure not him. So as I got this platform, and as I have a way to inspire, and I have a way for my word to be bond. I will lend my voice, I will lend my passion, I will lend my money, I will lend my resources to my youth in my inner city and outside of my inner city, to let these kids know that, there is hope, there's greater walks of life, and not one individual, no matter if it's the President of the United States or if it's someone in your household, can stop your dreams from becoming a reality.
So, that's a funny statement, because it's almost like he's about to say, let's make America great again, right? Or America is great, right? Let's make it great. So, the thing that's funny is, right, he's saying that no one person decides for this country, and certainly not President Trump. Well, we get news for you, LeBron. He is the elected president. Unlike you, who think you're the king because people have said that. King James, because you're so good at basketball. Well, that's not the reality. So if someone did have the right to talk for the people of the United States, it absolutely would be the President of the United States. I mean, I didn't care for Obama, I didn't like Bush, and I certainly didn't like Clinton. But I understood that that's the way votes go, and that's the person who speaks for the United States at that point in time. Something that these athletes, these millionaire athletes, have a little bit of a challenge understanding. But, also here, LeBron said he's going to give all his effort and all his money and all this stuff for the community. Well, let's first look at his voice, because he's saying that, he just wants people to be working together and getting things done, and not letting people get caught in the underside, right? Several years ago in Cleveland, we had, now mind you, Cleveland is run by a black mayor, a Democrat, Frank Jackson. And we had a 63-car police chase that went across town. The policemen violated the rules of procedure in engaging, I think, past 5 cars. And they chased them past city lines, across East Cleveland, all sorts of things. And when it all ended, these poor people, and I don't know, did they have a gun and throw it out the window and the police were not able to retrieve it? I don't know. But it could have been, and that's what a lot of people have proposed, is that their car just backfired and the cops started chasing them. I don't know why they fled. But the point is, the police violated procedure, endangered other citizens' lives by running through the city at top speed chasing this car. And it ended in an execution-style murder of these 2 citizens who were clearly not armed at the time. Now, eventually, some police officers were suspended, but the mayor stood up for the police chief, who certainly should have been reprimanded for this happening on his watch and not having control of his supervisors and everyone else involved in the whole call and the chase. But, where was LeBron's voice during this? Now, I think part of this, he was still back in Miami, but certainly he could have, if he's such a passionate guy about the little man, where's his voice about his hometown? Then we had another tragedy a couple years ago with Tamir Rice. So now the kid was playing in a park and kind of threatening people with a toy gun, as it turned out, I think it was. And the police were eventually called to the scene. No one else was around but Tamir and the police officers. They pulled in close and shot the child. Now, I don't know. This one's tough in my book, He might have made a move. I think when you look at the video, it looks like they could have seen that he might have been making a move. They shot on defense. But here's the thing. Because right now, we've got LeBron James, we've got Stephen Curry, we've got Kaepernick, we've got all these NFL players making this generic, broad argument that, there's this injustice in the United States and the police are against presumably black and low-income people, right? Why is it this generic argument? Why is the generic argument so important now? And these ambiguous things to most of the Americans, where people are, NFL players are taking a knee, and LeBron and Curry are saying, president is an ass, or he's a bum, and all this type of stuff. It's not anything about protecting the little people. Because when it comes to that, when it actually comes to an actionable thing, like what LeBron could have done with the Tamir Rice case, he backed away from it. This is a statement from LeBron about the Tamir Rice situation. For me, I've always been a guy who took pride in knowledge of every situation that I've ever spoken on. And to be honest, I haven't really been on top of this issue. So it's hard for me to comment. I understand that any lives that are lost, that we want more than anything is prayer and the best for the family, for anyone. But for me to comment on the situation, I don't have enough knowledge about it. That seems quite different from today's, or the other day's tirades, You couldn't comment on something that was in your own city that you had direct knowledge of. By being a citizen, it's not like as Clevelanders we could look the other way and not know the name Tamir Rice. That's a bizarre statement. LeBron James on a Cleveland cop verdict when the cops weren't indicted for the Tamir Rice thing. Violence is not the answer. I'm not actually saying that the things that he said were bad. I mean, these are actually good things to say. These are rational things to say. Don't know enough about the situation. I wasn't a juror. That would actually be a better way to say it. Not that you didn't know anything, because that's a lie. That's a lie. But not a juror. You didn't see all the details, so you can't really know why the policemen were let off. Violence is not the answer. It's a noble thing. But why is now raising racial tensions, why is it now an answer? Because Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all these organizations are about violence. Violence to get their point across, or not back away from violence if you don't want to believe that. They're about blocking city streets and shutting down the regular order of business. Is that the answer? And then when we get to LeBron talking about how he's going to give every dollar and he's going to really work towards helping the communities. Well, we recently had a situation where thank God for them, several church organizations across Cleveland came out and filed an injunction against what Cleveland was trying to do with the Cavaliers, is basically give half of $140 million, which we would add a leverage with bonds, which would have cost the city even more than $70 million, to remodel the Q where the Cavaliers play. Now, the Ohio Supreme Court said that, hey, you want to spend this much money on this, you're going to have to put it to a vote for the people. But where were you, LeBron James? Where were you, King, when this happened in the city? Where was your voice when the underprivileged people in the outskirts of the city, not even the outskirts, that makes it sound like far away, when people, 7 to 10 miles away within the city are living in poverty, and yet you want your ready state-of-the-art stadium, you and your team owner want that to be even more opulent, to the tune of 140, I forget what the total figure would be, 240 million or whatever. I'm going to stick with what I said the other day. LeBron James, you're a liar. Stephen Curry, you're a liar. NFL players, you're liars. You're just out for your own political agenda. And your political agenda, let's get things straight, has nothing to do with the little guy. Be he black, white, Asian, Cuban, whatever it may be. It's about your self-aggrandization. It's about your political views taking center stage. And that's why you're doing this now. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Catch me on these alternate media sources.